I'm Brian Custer. This is my partner, former UConn star Donnie Marshall. And Donnie, listen, we got an old school Big East matchup between the Red Storm and Connecticut on a special day, a day all about service and equality. What does the King legacy mean to you?
Well, it's simple. For me, growing up in a mixed race home, I was always taught it doesn't matter the color of your skin. The most important things were compassion, were kindness, and understanding of people who did not look like you. One of my favorite quotes of Dr. Martin Luther King was, "You can kill the dreamer, but you'll never kill the dream." And I understand today, now more than ever, that I stand on his shoulders.
Well, that's well said. Let's talk about the game because, you know, you got St. John's who's still looking for that signature conference win, but they got the Big East scoring leader in Julian Champagnie. Meanwhile, UConn, well, they're rolling, but getting used to life without James Bouknight, who was the Big East scoring leader at one point.
Yeah, UConn's going to have to be clinical in this game. They can't get out of hand. That's what St. John's wants you to do.
Let's get right to the starting lineup. They're brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Julian Champagnie, well, he averages 20 a game. Meanwhile, for UConn, keep your eye on R.J. Cole. He's going to have to run the show and handle that St. John's pressure. The officials for today's game, Pat Driscoll, Tony Chiazza, and Wally Rutecki. This is the 64th meeting between UConn and St. John's, their first meeting in 8 years since the breakup of the original Big East back in 2013. And it's the Huskies who control the tip in the home white.
Very important early for UConn to run their stuff. You don't want to take the options early. Stay with your stuff. Try to see how disciplined this St. John's team can be early on the defensive end.
Looking inside, and they're going to call the early foul, posting up on Sanogo. There's Mike Anderson in his second season, head coach at St. John's. And listen, you want to talk about winner. 18 straight active seasons of winning seasons as a head coach.
And that's hard. You know, you come over, you have to play with the guys that you're given before you can get your own recruits.
Champagnie lost it. And here comes the Huskies. And that three off the glass. I think he called it.
That's okay.
I think RJ called it.
It went in. No style points.
3-0 the score.
This is where St. John's has to figure out who they are. In the half court.
Roberts, little jump hook, too strong, but got his own rebound. Alexander for three.
Swanky P is what I like to call him. Posh. Alexander really turning into a solid little guard for Mike Anderson.
And he will pick your pocket as well. Had 5 steals against Marquette the other day. Inside, Sanogo, rejected by Alexander.
Someone's open.
In the corner, splash.
Great extra pass there, and that's when it happens. If it's a block shot or you get a longish rebound, swing that ball. That was a little bit slow there, but they ended up finding the right guy in the corner.
Yeah, Brendan Adams knocking it down. Back inside to Roberts. Again, the jump hook off the glass.
I love that. Sometimes you get at that angle and players don't know, should I shoot this straight in or off the glass, and then you end up hitting back rim. That's great feel.
Cole bringing it up against Williams. And Cole will fire. And again, good from 3.
Same spot, a little softer. Didn't use the glass, but terrific score. Over 1,500 points in 2 years at Howard. He could put it in the basket.
He averaged like 25 a game, and you know hadn't found his shooting stroke of late, but found it here early. That 3 no good by Alexander, and here comes Cole again with that left hand, and that one's knocked out of bounds. Well, Danny Hurley now in his 3rd season here at UConn. By the way, 0-1 against St. John's. He lost to the Red Storm 10 years ago when he was head coach at Wagner. Here's the steal by Alexander. And he gave it up. Dribbled it off his foot. Cole again from 3.
Why not?
This time it's Adams. That's too strong. And listen, this is the thing about UConn, one of the best rebounding team in the conference. So they're going to go after the ball.
Do a great job on the offensive glass. You're right, Brian. They know how to get after, and they send guards. That's what's important. A lot of teams
lost that one.
A lot of teams will rely on their bigs to rebound. UConn does a great job of sticking their nose in from every position on the floor.
As we take a look at the up-to-date Big East standings, UConn looking up at Nova, but Nova, who've been off for the past couple of weeks because of COVID issues, will finally get back to playing basketball tomorrow night against Seton Hall, but UConn are right behind them.
You worry about rest versus rust, and I know these teams are still working out, some of them in pods, and when they're trying to figure out their way, navigating these COVID waters, if you will, and all the protocols, but there's nothing like playing a game. You don't find the same wind. You know, you don't run as hard. Even though you're running hard in practice, you're just running differently in a game.
Here's Champagny. That's usually his spot from the corner.
My guys love lefties, man. For me, they were easy to guard because right hand up to their left, but this kid, I don't know if anybody can guard him. R.J. Cole filling it up early, off the backboard, straight in. They're going to need him, as we've already told you, with James Bouknight out. There's plenty of minutes there. You know, Bouknight was playing some 35 minutes a game, shooting 15, 16 shots a game, so they're out there and available.
Rasheem Dunn with that little floater.
They always said it's hard to guard a lefty, but if you're right-handed, you're already on that side. You don't have to reach across your body to contest a shot.
Looking for the advantage.
Spacing really poor spacing there, Brian. You don't want to throw a bounce pass to your big man a foot away.
Here's Champagny. Williams for three.
They've just missed a couple open shots. I mean, UConn is benefiting right now. This is a St. John's team that leads the league in pace. I mean, they get up and down. They want to get you on your heels, and UConn's controlled it by keeping St. John's to one and done.
Inside to Sanogo. Jump hook's good.
Shows how special he can really be. Catch, keep it simple, over that left shoulder.
6-point lead for the Huskies. Here's Champagny. That's too strong.
Love the talk. That's one thing you get benefit from not having fans in the building, is you can hear everything that's going on, whether the coaches like it or not.
Sanogo, fall away, nothing. That was knocked away from Williams.
Well, UConn's done it from outside early, showing you here they can get it done on the inside. Adama, Sanogo, need to see more of him.
You know, it goes to one of those things that Dr. King once said, Donnie, and it's the quality, not the longevity of one's life, which is important. That's exactly what the new Senator-elect was just talking about. 13-7 our score here in Storrs. First meeting between St. John's and UConn in 8 years since the breakup of the original Big East back in 2013.
I know you're a young buck, Brian, but do you know when this building opened who the first opponent was against UConn?
St. John's?
How'd you guess, man? That's a softball right there. That's what they call that, a softball. I just threw you.
Another three for the Huskies.
Robert Gordon, Malik Sealy, Lou Carnesecca was on the sidelines. I wasn't here yet.
Right. Vin Cole just threw that one away. There's James Bouknight. He had left elbow surgery just last week. He's out They're thinking maybe like 4 weeks.
Yeah, originally I know they said 6 to 8.
Right.
But then, you know, you just because I live here, I read the papers every day, and now it sounds like more like 4, which is big because not only do they have the potential to get him back before the Big East tournament, but with maybe 3 or 4 games before. And I mean, he's that special of a player. It was just one of those situations where he had to get it done right now.
He was averaging 20 when he went down and leading the conference in scoring.
Just a little off balance there from Martin. I love Tyrese Martin. He gives this team an aspect that they haven't seen in a long, long time. Can play many different positions. He's tough. And he's a veteran.
It's been a week since UConn's played, but that was DePaul, and he had 18 against DePaul. To the corner, Cole.
Look, they're getting open shots. They're passing the ball. They're moving it. Just can't knock them down yet.
So far, Red Storm 1 of 5 from distance. Good block, though, by Cole. No, listen, he had the surgery on the elbow, but this was Bouknight earlier today. And look, he may have surgery on the elbow, but he's still getting up shots.
Well, surgery was last week. What an awesome thing to be young. You know how long it takes you to heal now, Brian? You know, man.
Speak for yourself, oh, man.
Let me tell you.
Cole knocks it down with that lovely left. R.J. Cole.
Love R.J. Cole's just ability to find those open spots on the floor. Really has a terrific feel. We talk about players who can shoot and score and jump and rebound, but the new thing now, the trendy thing for players is feel. What kind of feel do you have when you get out on the floor? He has great feel, R.J. Cole.
Ronaldo Toro, that was a nice move. We couldn't finish.
And I will say it is impossible to teach feel. It's one of those things, you either have it or you don't.
Here's Adams. Whaley splashes that one down from 15. And the Huskies are on a roll. 8-0 run for the Huskies, and they've got their biggest lead. One 14-point lead for the Huskies over the Red Storm as UConn has gone on a 10-0 run.
And these are the issues that St. John's has at times. They score a ton of points, about 79 a game, but they also give up just about that, about 78 somewhere, give or take. But they need to figure out now, okay, just because we joke about this all the time, they're getting open shots, but there's a reason why those guys are open. That ball needs to go north to south, meaning top of the key to the rim, put their head down towards the basket like that.
Yeah, Diawusu, who just checked in for the Red Storm. Dylan lays it in.
And it's a good play out of that long timeout to get something good for Mike Anderson's guys.
In the drought, it's been a couple of minutes before the Red Storm. They even scored a point. Someone got lost. And Adams will go to the line.
I love that they're continuing to find Josh Carlton down low. Got one blocked earlier. Just needs to understand that you have some active bodies on the defensive end. So when you catch it, you need to be strong with it. You don't have to be in a hurry because they're timing it. Take your time. No one can do anything until you decide. If you're Josh Carlton, catch it, strong, up, and go to the basket.
Josh, the senior, only shooting 50% so far on the season from the line.
I love the offensive sets that UConn is running. I mean, even when they don't score, they're efficient. The ball is moving side to side. It's forcing the defense to react, causing some matchups, or mismatches, excuse me.
Marcellus Ellington drives and uses the left hand.
One of their Energizer bunnies for St. John's can do it from outside, do it inside. You see that off the dribble. That's the biggest test for St. John's today, is how can they run and get good offense in the half court, because UConn is going to do everything in their power to not allow them to get out in transition.
And they're going to call that one on Carlton, set the screen.
This is just a situation where, you know, you need some help from a teammate if you're a Cook, and a Cook's been playing more and more. Remember last year tore the Achilles and trying to work himself back into the game. And that's great recognition by Earlington. Sees a guy he can go by and he puts it on the floor.
Isaiah Whaley has checked in for UConn. So too is Jalen Gaffney. Here's Cole, pulls up, too strong. A Cook cleans the board.
Yeah, not a good shot. That's not a shot that you want when you're struggling and you're down 10. That ball's got to move a little bit. Look at that, another mismatch down low. Whaley, Alexander.
That one stripped by Alexander, his second already. Drives and hits the ground hard. Now Alexander against Marquette the other day had 2 of these. It was a rough night for the freshman, and he's already came in with a bad hit. Watch this fall.
Love the take, just gets his feet taken out from underneath him with the bump. Tough kid though.
Fouls on 0. Jalen Gaffney is first.
So here's the freshman out of Brooklyn, averaging 10 points a game. Filled up the stat sheet against Marquette the other day. 9 points, 5 steals, which was a season high for him. He also had 8 assists. Leads the Big East in steals.
Love the hustle by a Cook, and he's the first one down the floor. Saves it out of bounds under this basket. Gets down to the other end before anyone else. See if they'll reward him.
Missed it. Here comes Alexander. The follow is good, though, by Cole.
And that's where they're at their best, St. John's. I call it mindless basketball. Doesn't mean you're not smart. It just means you don't have to run any offensive sets. Go play basketball. You create that by cleaning the glass, getting steals, getting out in transition. Swanky P, Puss, Alexander, and the Johnnies.
There's only one original stuffed crust, and it's only from Pizza Hut. The only place that gives you up to 3 toppings on your original stuffed crust for just $11.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Shareholders are very happy.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Storm, and look, I told you Alexander had a rough night against Marquette. Look at this. Look at these falls he took against Marquette and the Golden Eagles. Not to mention Theo John of Marquette set some killer screens that flattened him. He was on the ground all afternoon long and took another hard fall on that bad hip of his.
Tell you what, if Theo John's setting a screen and I'm getting ready to run into it, me and my teammate are fighting if they don't yell out that he's coming to set a screen.
Amen.
We're getting into a fight.
Amen.
Because I don't want to run it. No one wants to run into a Theo John screen.
He ran into a few of them. That's why he's got the bad hip. But I tell you what, you talk about, he's tough. Here's the drive. And they're going to call a reach in on Rasheem Dunn.
And this is where you see St. John's runs into some issues in the half court defensively. A lot of reaching, you know, we call that matador defense, where you're there and then you get out of the way and you reach for it. That's just not going to work against a well-coached team like UConn. You got to stand in there, take a charge, or better yet, be a better on-ball defender at the beginning of the play.
Brendan Adams knocks down the first one. He's the junior out of Hanover. Shoots about 60% from the line. Knocks them both down. The Red Storm have put up 6 straight points. Wusu drives, count it, and he'll go to the line.
Erlington, Wusu, those are their Energizer bunnies off the bench. And this is something that Danny Hurley's not going to be happy with. That's a tough matchup for Tyler Polley that far away from the basket. He really needs help behind him. You know, guys need to be yelling at him, I got your back, but no one was there.
Lead remains 8.
But this St. John's team, they've created 35 turnovers the last 2 games. They got to get this thing picked up a little bit, you know, get in those passing lanes, speed it up.
Here's Dunn to Erlington. He'll pull it and knocks it down from 3.
It's that recognition again. Tyler Polley, get him rocking backwards a little bit, but he is a little longer and you knock it down.
Here's Polley, right back at you. And that's a guy who they love coming off the bench because he's certainly gotten hot here over the past couple of weeks.
Another one of UConn's guys last year had a major surgery and come back strong.
You can call that one on Isaiah Moore.
Yeah, that's a silly foul that far away from the basket. There's really nothing you can do right in front of the official. You got to just retreat, get back on defense. But it does give St. John's an opportunity, if we're stressing the positives, to get their full court pressure going a little bit.
Here's the trap. They'll get it to Cole. 8 minutes until the half. Running Polley off a couple of screens. Now 5. And that's going to be a charge.
How you standing there and take it? We just talked about it, Brian. No more of this Matador D. And who is it? It's my guy, Swanky P. Poss giving up his body. Brooklyn is in the house. So we could be here and we could help make a change. It's hard for them to believe with everything that's going on in the world today, but you have to keep reminding young people that there was one person, didn't matter what color he was, he believed in not one race, two race. He believed in the human race. That is so, so important for everyone, especially our young people, to understand that.
Well, to me, in true leadership is being about giving up something for a greater cause than just yourself, right? Personal gain. That's what you really respect about that man. 8-point lead here for UConn over the Red Storm. And look at Posh Alexander, the freshman. Boy, I tell you, he is going after these. After the game he had against Marquette on Saturday and already taking a couple of falls, he's going to need an ice bath.
Well, that's why you see him standing up when he's out of the game. You know, you really, he's got his hand on that left hip there, but
man.
This is the only, disadvantage for us. We are elevated. We're up away from the floor for every, for our safety and all of our crew. But we don't really get firsthand knowledge from the officials like we used to when we were on the floor. So you have to forgive us at home if we're not telling you immediately what's happening. .847, .849. Say it was a 2-pointer, not a 3. That was what they were looking at. So it's awesome that they went back over. That was Wally Ratecki yelling. He's got some lungs. He yelled that from the floor
with the mask.
We got some great officials in this conference.
Dialusu, how about that? That's a Big East power move.
And he's letting them know.
In the land of trees. Here comes that press. Gaffney.
Brian, he's built like you a little bit. 6'4", 235, just like Brian Custer. Boy, that is I know there are a lot of NFL teams probably watching him.
You always going to throw some weight on me. Okay, I see. That's just going to be one of those days with you.
Up, Brian, get your weight up.
It's going to be one of those days with you, Johnny Marshall. I know you're home. 5 on the shot clock. Cole drives.
He just knows not just how to score, but how to get fouled if there's nothing else there. That's what great scorers do. Oh, wow, they're going to say it's on the baseline. Look, they must not have read the scouting report on R.J. Cole. He was going to score. That ball was going up.
RJ's already made 4 threes already. That's a season high for him. His career high is 7. He did that a couple of seasons ago when he was at Howard.
Whaley had the lane. All you have to do is just explode up to the basket. Don't stop when you're that close. Have some confidence in your scoring ability.
St. John's last 5 hoops have all been at the rim. Let's see if they go attack it again. Here's a jumper by Dunn, and he knocks it down.
And then all of a sudden, they're starting to figure out who they are. St. John's in the half court. And that really fires up their defense. Deflections. You know, Brian, we've done enough games together. It is one of the most important stats in my mind are deflections, because just that there could have saved maybe an open jump shot and now gives St. John's a chance to get set up defensively.
Especially for the Red Storm, because that defense always keys their offense for them. Step back by Cole. Too strong. Earlington the board. Here comes Adayawusu. Dunn attacks. And he'll go to the line.
I don't know how many times UConn teammates are going to allow Tyler Polley to be on an island, because that's basically the 3rd time. The first 2 he was scored on. Now, I understand it's all about pride and standing in and trying to defend your guy. But at some point, you need help. I mean, he doesn't have clearly the foot speed of these guards of St. John's. Needs a teammate to help him out.
There's Rasheem Dunn, redshirt junior out of Brooklyn. Started his career at Cleveland State, went to St. Francis, Brooklyn before transferring to St. John's. John McGriff will check in. Marcellus Ellington will have a seat, and here comes the press again by the Red Storm. They've cut the lead now down to 3. They've gone on a 15-5 runs. Inside, Whaley missed it. And it'll stay with UConn.
It's a pretty good defensive set for St. John's. And guys really retreated, saved a basket at that end.
Here's Martin. Working the open shot for Polley. Can't find the mark. They're going to call that one on the Red Storm.
That's a tough one. They actually dodged a bullet by leaving Tyler Polley that open, because that's his sweet spot. The corner you talked about earlier, and that right wing. Now, those are fouls that you just can't have when you're on the road and you're, you know, a 500 team.
Paz Alexander is checked back in. Dunn will have a seat. High screen for Cole. That shot counted. Nice move by Jalen Gaffney.
just look how much ground he covers when he catches it. Good look, one dribble. Powerful off of 2 feet. That is a terrific athletic move. That's what you need when you're playing against the St. John's team. You need those athletes to be able to compete against their athletes and keep them on their heels. And look, I know it's St. John's is trying to fight their way back, but UConn has done a good job outside and in. They just have to get some better stops like that.
Yeah, Diawusu travels.
It's always that fine line when you score a couple of easy ones or you get to the rim of do I take this or do I swing, get it back, and then take it. It's a hard game, Brian. I know that's why you never played it, because it's just hard, man. I get it. It's hard.
Oh, my gosh. I just knew.
I better be careful, because I know you cover a lot of boxing. I know I better watch my mouth, man.
Oh, my gosh. 5 minutes. That three by Martin is no good, but he got it back.
Look at the spacing for UConn.
Cole runner. And you're right, those Huskies, they go after the basketball. They will crash the boards.
It has to be, listen, it's a different time. I played back in the 1900s, so some things have changed. But it seems like in this building, rebounding has always been the first and foremost when you're talking about priorities of winning a game, no matter who's on the sideline for UConn.
Here's Champagnie. That's the guy they need to start and get him going. That shot's blocked out of bounds.
And that's a great matchup with Tyrese Martin as well. Champagnie really hasn't had too many openings, and there was still help behind if Tyrese Martin let him go, and he has not scored. You're talking about the leading scorer in the Big East.
This was just like against Marquette. He had just 2 points at the half, and then in the beginning of the second half, he went on an explosion, scored 18, 12 straight at one point. There's a steal, and Martin dunks it home.
Composure, important this last 4 minutes or so for St. John's. Can't get it all back in one possession.
4 minutes until the half. Here's a Diawusu. McGriff will pull up, throws off. Owusu runs it down, and he's fouled by Gaffney. 8-point lead, UConn over St. John's. Those two, Jay Wright and Villanova, because they really haven't moved much at all, even though they haven't played in weeks. Still ranked 3rd. Michigan took their first loss to Minnesota, and then Wisconsin round out the top 10. Let's talk about the Red Storm, down 8 here to UConn.
If you're Mike Anderson, I understand you want to be upset because your team's not playing like they're supposed to, but your 3 studs have 3 points combined. So you can't be that upset. You have to stay positive and really have a sense of, look, we're going to get it going. But now, as much as the coach can say, do X, Y, and Z, the players got to go get it. The players have to do it together. He can only do so much from that sideline.
Well, Champagnie again had 2 against Marquette at the half, and then came out in the second half and scored 15 straight points.
1-1.
So he can get hot quickly. Vin Cole, he'll check back in. John McGriff will have a seat.
St. John's, they shoot about 20 threes a game. They make around 7. They're 1 for 5 right now, but they're just missing shots. They've gotten some really, really good looks. Can't get frustrated. Got to stay with your stuff and play together.
Haven't attempted a 3 since they were 1 for 5 from the field. Luckily for them, they've been going to the basket and shooting the mid-range to get back in this one. Here's Gaffney, guarded by Champagnie. To the corner. That 3's no good. Martin had a good look.
UConn does a good job of, even when you get them down deep in that shot clock, they still find a way to get an open shot. It's just that extra ball movement.
Here's Champagnie. Misses that three. Martin drives, hangs, lost it.
Terrific no call. Really good no call there. And St. John's just, as soon as they do something well, they try to put it together a couple of stops. It's something silly like that. It's keeps that uphill battle going.
6-point deficit.
Yeah, they're right there. I mean, the right guys that you need to step up off the bench have done that for them. They just need their stars to get going.
Mismatch here. Footwork, young people. Footwork. Sanogo, nice move in the post. Alexander, great dime to Roberts.
But you see how fast they got into that, Brian? They didn't hang their heads because of the move by Sanogo. They pushed it up, got some, almost turned a, you know, really what should have been a half-court set into a fast break set.
2 minutes until the half, 6-point lead. Here's Sanogo working on Roberts. Air ball to jump up. Diawusu leaks out and lays it in. Good pass by Alexander.
Boy, what a look.
Now it's 4. The lead for UConn.
And now if you're Mike Anderson, you feel even better. Because like what you said, you know, Champagnie, you know, is going to wake up in that second half.
And trust me, you know they're gonna try to press you and turn up the heat. That three no good, a contested three by Polly. And stolen. Champagnie, and that's a block. And Champagnie will go to the line.
Yeah, I was going to say, some teams hate prosperity. St. John's will get the ball and they give it right back. Get it, give it right back. It's always a tough call, Brian. I don't, you know, it's just such a hard call for the officials to make. You know, but I know when you call it, you got to stand behind it. Boy. Number 1 free throw shooter in the conference as well.
Yeah, 89, 90%er.
Boy. Well, that just tells me he's going to make the next 20 straight. That's what they do.
So now the lead is 3. Here comes the press. They throw it up and too high for Whaley.
Well, you're taught you can't back up against pressure. You have to attack it. But you also have to allow, when you have numbers, for the defense to decide what he's going to do before you make that either layup or pass, in that case for Martin.
So after everything St. John's has gone through with the shooting woes, we're under a minute. They can actually tie the score here with this possession. Alexander missed that 3.
Stand up, get yourself a good stop if you're St. John's. If you're UConn, I'd love to see something going to the basket. Put your head down. Keep the pressure on the refs heading into half. You know you're going to have your guys spread out. Shooters ready.
9-second differential between shot clock, game clock. That shot rejected by Roberts. 3 now. Got to get it up. And it goes. Sanogo. Here's Champagnie, the pull-up, and he'll go to the line with .7 on the clock.
Tell you what, for you know, a team that's got, you know, a lot of new faces, they play with composure late in the clock, Brian. They really just, they never panic, UConn. And this is just a tough one heading into, when you got some momentum if you're UConn heading into half.
2 shots.
First one rolls in for Champaign.
We got one.
Both good. Lead is 3. So UConn never trailed here in the first half. Shoots just 35%, but the Red Storm would not go away. 35-32. That's our score. Going to send you to Mike Hill in Los Angeles for the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report. Right after this, you're watching college basketball right here on
Nose to the rim, abusing those mismatches.
Here's a look at the first half stats. They're brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Adaiwusu, his career high is 12, already with 10, 4 of 4 from the field. Cole also had 12 points. Red Storm came in shooting just 29% from 3 on the road this year. 1 of 6 in that first half. Here's Posh Alexander.
Important for them to run something clean. Get a nice look. It doesn't have to be for Champaign, but high percentage shot to start this half would be huge for St. John's.
Here's Cole. Alexander, extra pass to Roberts, and he drops it in.
I tell you, again, we talk about feel. Posh Alexander just has the knack to be in the right spot. Important for his teammates to understand, though, when he catches it, you got to have those hands ready. He's just one of those guys that will flip it to you. If you're not ready, that thing could go out of bounds.
And comes up nearly with the steal. Oh. Somehow R.J. Cole had it, lays it in. And it looks like they got a little issue with the clock. Wally Rutecki wants them to take a look at it.
Tell you what, we have a bird's eye view here, and watching, and you'll see here the clock just. It's like Brian Custer on these weekend games. Brian doesn't really want to get it going. I got to push him. It's like that clock. Got to keep that thing going a little bit. But there's a pass from Posh Alexander. You got to have those hands ready. Look at him. He's on the baseline, draws a guy, and just flips it off to his teammate underneath the basket. A little flip pass. Love it. Cute. Feel.
So I see you really going to show yourself because you're back here at Stores, huh? You know, millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19, the pandemic. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids and programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Hey, text play to the number right there on your screen to help kids in the game. Points in the paint have been the story for the Red Storm to try to stay in this game. 22-12 is the advantage for St. John's so far, and it's a 3-point lead for UConn.
These games that are herky-jerky, whether this game's been clean foul-wise, refs are allowing them to just have some free-flowing, but when the clock stops, I think a game like this is more advantageous to St. John's because they want to gum it up. You know, they want it to be herky-jerky.
Well, listen, I know you're back home, and I really didn't see too much of your game because there wasn't too many highlights of you, but we did find some. It took us a while.
Donyell Marshall passed the ball? What? Look, Kevin Ollie was always taking care of me.
You can't find
any Ray Allen. You can't find any Ray Allen passing. That's the thing.
Exactly.
You can't find any Ray Allen passing, man.
With that jumper, would you pass?
Well,
come on, man.
You got a point there.
Exactly.
Yeah, we used to get it up and down in here. Like I said, back in the 1900s, man. I'm surprised this building isn't on a historical register somewhere. As long as it's been here. Yeah, it's always beautiful to come back to this building.
Man, I thought the highlights were going to be of you fighting, because it's like, that's all I remember, you getting in fights with people on the court.
You tune into, well, you know why? Because you'd only watch St. John's games. It was always against, I promise you, it was always against St. John's, man. Oh.
Finally got the clock issue fixed. And now Coach Anderson has an issue with it. Exactly. Coach Anderson has an issue with the clock.
Well, any momentum that either team had is gone right now. So I still believe that St. John's, though, they're always one of those teams that can play no matter what. They can play it ugly. They can play it pretty, fast. Slow is where they struggle a little bit, but these herky-jerky games, they find a way to stay in them.
Now we're ready to go. Here's Cole. Inside. Roberts. Nope. That one knocked away.
I think you shoot that. And you're 4 or 5 feet away. Why not just shoot it? It's easy to defend when you get to that point and there's defenders underneath the basket.
Here's Isaiah Whaley. Cole shot blocked by Champagny. Sanogo has it with 5 on the shot clock. Martin's shot rejected by Cole.
They are long and lanky and athletic. St. John's at the right spots. And I like the play. Tyrese Martin was trying to draw a little contact there. But again, St. John's wants to gum it up. They want to, they love to play stop, go, and they get a little momentum. They're scary.
Into Champagny. Working on Sanogo. Step back. Block. Good defensive play by Sanogo.
Really good defense. Champagny recognized there was help. Adams was behind, ready to help Sanogo. I mean, these are always hard because what you need to do, you have the quickness. You got a big guy in front of you, but you can see just behind him, left side of your screen, that's Adams ready to help if that ball gets put on the floor. It's just an easy defensive play for Sanogo.
Inside, Sanogo working on Roberts. Ball fake, up under, and still knocks it down.
To have that clock in your head to recognize pump fake, there's a second, pump fake, another second, and to get it up basically at 2.9 because obviously 3-second call, but that's a freshman. Blocks at one end, comes back and scores for you.
Great footwork. Here's another ball fake by Cole. Shoots the 3. It's no good. Sanogo with 8 points for the Huskies. They give it to him. Let's see if he goes to work again. And he does. Oh, and that one rolls off.
And you can hear his teammates yelling, another one!
Done. He traveled.
This is awesome. What I like about it, nice little shot fake, see what the defender's gonna do. Sanogo dancing on him down there. Whew.
Hey, slow down! Slow down! Slow down, bitch!
Break the press.
Yeah, I'd love to see UConn utilize more of their fast breaking skills. They have enough athletes. Now they're different because James Bouknight is out, but they still have to be able to break those presses and get some easy baskets.
Sanogo. Whaley. And that's going to be goaltending on Champagny. touched it while it was in the cylinder.
It's a great angle here to see if it had it. Yeah, I don't know if he touched it, to be honest with you. I really don't, because the ball didn't change direction based on where his hand was hitting it.
Lead is now 7. That pass stolen. Snogo.
Look, you got to get Julian Champagnie looks, but you can't force the ball into him. It has to be free-flowing. I'd love to see him working along the baseline, but some like bang-bang action. It can't be stopped. Let him catch it. Let the defense get set.
Here's Alexander. He knocks down the 3. They needed that one. It was on the UConn was on a 6-0 run.
Yeah. Tyrese Martin had those hands low. And let that thing go when you see that.
Adams stolen by Champagnie. They got number 3 on 1. And Champagnie.
That'll be a block.
Yep. We'll go to the line. Of Dr. Martin Luther King. So we've got an old school Big East matchup between UConn and St. John's. 64th meeting between these two programs. The first since the breakup of the original Big East back in 2013. So it's been 8 years since these two have faced each other.
And the connection is great now. You know, UConn obviously speaks for itself back in the Big East, but people have to remember, oh, Danny Hurley played at Seton Hall, so he has that personal connection to this conference, you know, before he was even coaching UConn, and played a lot of games against St. John's. I played a lot of games against Danny.
Just 1 of 2 by Champagnie, who only has 4 points. Averages 20. He's the Big East scoring leader.
Love how Alexander gets after that ball defensively. Always working.
You get a sense that the Red Storm have turned up the defensive intensity. Here's Sinogo with the left hand. Adama.
You don't want to give your freshman the ball with 4 seconds on the clock at the elbow, especially a big guy, but he made it work.
Here's Champagnie for 3. It's short. Adaiawusu with the offensive board.
You got to love that kid. He and Alexander just
call his name. He delivers.
Boy.
Near steal, and Adaiawusu comes up with it. Alexander lost his footing, somehow found it to Champagnie.
And although he looks like a grown-up, great body. Look at him just staying in the play, Sinogo. Again with the little ball fake and putting it down without traveling. I mean, there's 4 seconds on the clock right there, folks. That's not the most comfortable spot to be in for anybody.
Sinogo came in averaging 4, has already got 10 for UConn. We played 6 minutes here in the second half, 14 left in the game. That jump was good by Isaiah Whaley. Here's Dunn. Alexander, another 3.
Champagnie didn't touch the ball 1 time, Brian. That entire possession, that just cannot happen. I mean, you know, you're only down 4, but he's also got to help his teammates.
Woo! How about that? Sinogo, the freshman, turning out and turning out here in Stores. He's got 12 now. Lead is 6. It is stolen by Cole. RJ, Euro step, floater, counting.
St. John's has got to talk about this. The momentum right now has really shifted. UConn getting anything they want. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
Coach Anderson's going to call the timeout. 8-0 run by the Huskies.
Getting anything they want. Defensively, we talk about creating offense with your defense. UConn up 8. Big East. Welcome back to Stores, Connecticut. UConn up by 8. Doing the job. We talked about it. Sharing the basketball. Shovel pass to Adama Sanogo. So special. And then here, RJ Cole really doing a terrific job of running the team, scoring, passing there. This UConn team has 16 points off of turnovers from St. John's. And even though it's kind of been back and forth a little bit, Brian, I don't think at one point UConn has ever felt like they were, losing a hold of this game. A lot of time to play.
Well, the Huskies 7 for 11 here in the second half. They have not attempted a 3 after putting up 13 of them in the first half. Meanwhile, some bad news for the Red Storm. Greg Williams will not play the rest of this game because of back injury.
One less ball handler, one less scorer for St. John's.
Here's Rasheem Dunn. He'll have to take up the slack as he drives, uses the left hand.
He was like a jet. Great job using the basket to defend the defender.
Here's the trap by the Red Storm.
Oh, you never want to put the ball up right there. You got to understand that. You're using the sideline and the half-court line as another defender.
6-point lead for the Huskies here in Stores. Well, for the Huskies, their leading scorers, RJ Cole, he's got 16. And how about the freshman, Adama Sanogo with 12, who averaged 4. He has been a beast in the post.
Well, I tell you, when you have a player like James Bouknight go down, that's your main question. Where's our scoring going to come from? And obviously those two guys have stepped up. Now the key is, how do you sustain that? How do you learn, hey, we can get him more than 3 or 4 touches a game when you're talking about Sanogo when Bouknight comes back. But today he has really shined because his teammates have kept him involved.
Here's Whaley. Draws the foul.
Tough.
Isaiah Moore can't believe it.
I'm with him. They've been bumping and grinding all game down there. We have the luxury of a.
That's not a Big East foul.
I still don't see it.
That's not a Big East foul.
I always, we have a lot of friends because we do a lot of games that are officials. I always tell them, just, when we talk to them, we get a chance just to remind them, listen, don't call the game with your good eye closed. That's my only advice to you.
1 of 2. That jumper contested. Diawusu says that should be Red Storm basketball, and they changed the call.
I talked about can't officiate with the good eye closed, Brian. I think the most important thing is that they end up getting it right.
Ed Erlington, who cut to the basket. He was open. He's asking for it. Posh Alexander drives, lost it. Stripped. Here comes Cole.
And as good as Posh Alexander has been, still have to remember he's a freshman.
They'll call that one on Posh.
And those plays you can live with if you're a coach, even if I'm his teammate, because he's playing hard. I don't think that's a silly foul. I think that's a good one. You're trying to come from behind to pluck that ball away. Never want to take the energy of a player away by saying that's a bad play. I don't mind that.
10 on the shot clock for UConn. Cole will pull it. Erlington, open three. Yes.
I don't want to stay on my guy, but again, we saw it in the first half. Tyler Polley's got to run out and make that guy, Erlington, make him a ball handler. You can't allow a guy at this level to stand out there and look you over, check the wind direction, and shoot it.
Every time UConn goes on a run, the Red Storm continues to just hang around. There's the drive by Polley.
Yeah, just take a look. You know, Tyler Polley's a better defender than this. He's going to be right down in there. And what happens is there's just too much room. You know, you can say, yeah, there might have been a little brush screen, but you got to fight your way. You know your guy is the last one down the floor. You got to fight around that if there is some type of screen and find your guy. I will say on this end, though, you know, good job by Tyler Polley. The defender was running at him. A little show and go, gets himself to the foul line.
Julian Champagnie getting ready to check back in for the Red Storm. Champagnie has scored at least 13 in every game this season. He's also got 4 double-doubles. Today, 0 of 7 from the field, 4 rebounds for Champagnie.
It wouldn't hurt to get him a little action here, a little brush screen, something like that. I don't care to make him go one-on-one. When you're struggling, you don't want to have to force it that way.
Stolen by Alexander. Back to Alexander. His shot blocked. He got it back, though. Erlington for 3. And it drops.
They don't go away, Brian. That's what makes games against St. John's, regardless of their record, so difficult.
Erlington off the bench is giving him 10. His career high is 17. We're under 10 minutes left in the game. Here's Martin with 2 on the shot clock. Knocks it down.
Had to get it up. And those shots I don't care for, but that's a smart play. Long twos, just not my favorites, but when the shot clock's running down, that's a smart play.
Stolen. Martin.
You know, analytically speaking, they would say it's not a good shot, but he's got 1 second on the shot clock. It's a great shot. Put it down and shot fake, show, and go. So show and go, Brian, because I know you're into boxing. It means you show the ball, and then you put it on the floor. You go to the next spot. That's a perfect example right there. Clinical.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
You can learn something, Brian, every
Absolutely.
time. We learn something every time, man.
Hey.
Every game we do together.
With you, I do. With you, I do. Some substitutions. R.J. Cole will have a seat. Brendan Adams will check back in. Josh Alexander will get a rest for the Red Storm.
As much as you want to credit St. John's for not backing down, and they keep trying to chip away and they get back into it, UConn has been like that big brother holding the little brother's head when he's trying to swing at him. They just keep them at arm's length.
And those unforced turnovers will drive you crazy as a head coach.
But here's the key, you know, for St. John's, because it does get frustrating. You get a chance now, stress the positives, to set up your full court pressure. Live ball turnovers really hurt you. Dead ball, you can get back.
Nine minutes left in this one. Martin Martin. And
the other way.
Let's see. They're going to call the block. Was he inside the restricted area?
Could have been. Could have been. Got to get those toes outside of that circle. He looked outside to me there. Whew. It's a tough one to take. Yeah, as a player, too, you're thinking, okay, I've done everything that they teach us in practice. I get outside of the circle, I get my feet set, and I give my body up.
2 shots.
Discouraging.
First one's good for Martin, who's got 6 steals already. They had 5 of them in their last game against DePaul. Got 1 of 2 from the line. And Erlington, the drive, and he'll go to the line.
Really, Erlington's kept him in it. In this half, he's done a really good job. There you see himself getting to the basket, stretching him out a little bit. The shooter's bounce, and the name should be in the TV show Bridgerton. You watch any TV?
I do.
Besides sports?
Yeah.
Marcellus Erlington. That sounds like a Bridgerton name.
Yeah.
It should be in there somewhere. People at home, if you don't know what Bridgerton is, shame on you. If you don't know what it is, shame on you.
Knocks them both down. Six-point lead for the Huskies.
They do a terrific job of not taking shots too early in that shot clock. They really work it down. They move the ball. I think that thing touches 4 or 5 different guys each time down the floor.
Gaffney lost the handle and committed the personal undone.
Just great pressure. You know, with that ball movement, the hard thing against St. John's is that that's just a turnover, trying to do a little bit too much with the ball. But they switch almost everything on that perimeter. I mean, there are times where there's certain lineups, they'll switch all 5.
Here's Erlington. To Alexander. Big boy. Smallest man on the court. Goes down into the post and the and one.
Erlington, good job here, not forcing anything, but Swanky P, Posh Alexander, there again, helping a teammate out. I heard once that I just love the saying, you know, for those good players, your greatest ability is availability. You can say that about Posh Alexander.
No matter the falls, he continues to get back up.
Here's that 3-point hill that we've seen them try to climb St. John's all game long once they've gotten it close.
Alexander's got 12. Look at the intensity defensively now by the Red Storm. Here's Adams. Short. Follows good, though, by Martin.
The athleticism went up with both hands. Ball came off the front, so he had to switch to his left hand for the tap in.
Erlington turns, fires, no good. There's Alexander. Champagnie. Yes! 2-point lead for the Huskies.
Plenty of time, folks. 7 minutes, 7:13 to be exact. St. John's, you got to be feeling pretty good. I think Danny Hurley might start to think, hey, guys, we keep trying to stretch this thing out. We got to keep them at bay. They just can't do it.
Keep in mind, St. John's has never led in this one. We've been tied just once. It will be Red Storm basketball when we come back.
Tyrese Martin, transfer, came over, played for Danny Hurley before. The athleticism. Champagnie, 2-point game, folks. Don't go.
5 for 8 here in the second half, Donnie.
And they've done a better job of getting themselves to the foul line. Both teams, UConn there 15 times, St. John's 16. They both made 11. So now they'll those stats are starting to get a little bit closer. It's going to come down to, especially for St. John's, can you play mistake-free? You're on the road. You're against a very, very good defensive team in UConn. How can you limit your mistakes? And for UConn, it's going to be continuing to run the stuff, and who is going to be the go-to guy once you get late in that clock? We've seen them get deep in that clock a lot in this game, Brian.
The Red Storm, that bucket by Champagny, his first from the field. Alexander drives, turns the corner. There's the reach in, saves a layup.
And for as good as UConn has been most of this game defensively, they've shown some holes, and those holes are maybe relying a little bit too much on one-on-one defense. I don't care how great an on-ball defender you are, you need help from your teammates when you're playing against those smaller guards like Alexander. And the great defensive teams, to me, aren't the teams that have one or two good on-ball defenders. It's when everyone defends as a team.
Foul charge number 1, R.J. Cole, is third. Fifth on the team.
So through all of everything that the Red Storm have been through, down 14 at one point, we've got a tie game. Up at 59, 6:30 left to play here in Stores. First meeting between these two programs in 8 years. Here's Cole. He'll pull up. Follow is good, though, by Whaley. Best rebounding team in the conference, showing it.
14 offensive rebounds a game. That would tell me, if I'm anyone wearing a red uniform, just to find a body when the ball goes up. Anybody.
And a travel turnover by Alexander.
Limiting your mistakes. It's going to be key down the stretch. Look at the positioning. Whaley does a great job of keeping Champagny on his back. Some players think you just box out when you're on the other end of the floor. You can box out when you're on offense too. Shows you right there.
Here's Whaley. Now Polly with 10. Wow, fading three. No, Adaiwusu. They've got numbers. Alexander lays it in.
Brian, you and I were talking at one of the breaks about
giving it up early,
getting the ball up in transition early. Good things happen for you. And that's just such an awkward but a very good transition.
Again, knotted up. This time at 61. Whaley, yes, off the glass.
How about that? Opposite block, post up. All the help was on the strong side. Great pass and terrific finish.
Under 5 minutes. St. John's has never led in this game. Erlington, no. Follows his own shot. Too strong. Martin. Couldn't get it. Here comes Alexander.
Everywhere. He is everywhere. I love that kid's energy.
For the lead. Good. Erlington. 1-point lead for the Red Storm. Their first lead of the game.
UConn's got to talk about this, Brian. I think you gotta come together and say, okay, listen, now we got a game. Who cares what happened earlier?
RJ had Erlington on his hip. He'll go to the line.
Ball movement, willing passers, unselfishness, slow defense, 3-ball corner pocket for St. John's. First lead of their game. We got a Big East battle, folks.
Okay, guys, thank you. As we look at the Big East standings, UConn right behind Villanova, who gets back to playing tomorrow night. Our score here, the Red Storm with a 1-point lead thanks To that young man there, Marcellus Earlington, and his three. He is 3 for 3 from distance, which ties his career high as our game reset. Both teams with a couple of timeouts. Possession arrow pointing towards the Huskies. Cole ties things up. In case you're wondering, the Red Storm has not won here in Storrs or Hartford since January 16th, 2000. That's a stretch of 8 straight consecutive losses. And we're tied at 64 now.
Brought everything that you talked about before and everything that happened. Play basketball.
Done. Fouled as he goes to the hoop.
That's one of those situations that you really have to figure out. So Whaley's there to help. He just keeps backing up. You know, R.J. Cole is expecting someone to step up, to show up. So you step in and either you foul before the ball goes up or you take a charge. But I think UConn, that's the one thing I would say they really struggled with today is one, help, but also stepping in a little bit sooner to stop the ball.
Dunn knocks down the first one. Posh Alexander will check back in for the Red Storm.
Look, you have to guard who's in front of you. I understand that, but that's what you rely on your teammates for behind you when you do get beat off the dribble.
Both good.
And this is where St. John's is at their best. They turn you up, they speed it up, and they try to turn you over.
2-point lead for the Red Storm. Good cut by Martin. Missed a layup. Here comes Dunn. Adaiwusu. And it will be Huskies basketball.
Hey, St. John's just keeps coming at you, man. They really put you back on your heels. This is one of the hardest playing teams that I've seen all season long. I mean, every possession, Brian.
Every possession, you're right. Under 3 minutes here. And there's the push. Huskies will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
I just don't care for it. This game has been played that way from the start. You know, it might have been a lower body bump. There's no extending of the arms. I think you gotta let the kids kind of work their way through this. There was no advantage gained. And quite frankly, you could call that every single time down the floor. So the refs are going to be able to justify and say, well, it was a, you know, you also still have to have some feel. Understand what the time and the score is if you're an official.
Again, 1 of 2 by Cole. So 1-point lead for the Red Storm. And now it's the Huskies who can set up a little pressure.
And what's tough about this St. John's team right now for UConn is that there really are 4 ball handlers on the floor.
Alexander explodes and count it. Watch him turn the corner.
Again, Brian, I know I sound like a broken record, but where's the help? Where's the help? You've seen all game long. There's no one in the paint back there. That is unacceptable. I mean, Danny Hurley prides himself and his team on guarding the ball, but also showing up for a teammate.
He rolls off. Lead is 3. Whaley. Again, no James Bouknight. Elbow surgery. I know they've won since he's been out. How much do they miss him?
You know, they're trending downward, though, when you talk about scoring the ball, moving the basketball since he's been out. Yes, they've won, but they're still searching for a new identity without him. And what comes with that is who's going to step up, not just for your starters, but off the bench. This is a game where St. John's is up 27-10 in bench points. So that's the other adjustment. Who's going to score on the floor? But where does Danny Hurley go with that hole of no James Bouknight when he goes to the bench?
Brendan Adams, perfect from the line. And on the season, just a 60% shooter. Now the lead is 1 for the Red Storm.
Biggest question for St. John's. Can you play mistake-free this last 2 minutes? And if you can, if the answer is yes, very well could walk out of here with a win.
Champagny will go to the line for the 1-and-1.
And remember, coming into this game, talked about a leading scorer in the Big East. Champagny hasn't shown us that, but he still is coming in was the best free throw shooter in terms of percentage.
4 of 6 from the line today. Knocks that one down. 5 of 7. Just 1 or 2. Lead is 2. 2 minutes left in this game. Red Storm looking for a signature conference win. And the Huskies trying to win 5 straight.
And still 10 seconds on the shot clock, not in their offense yet.
Whaley sets the screen. Lost it, and it's Red Storm basketball.
And I know what the UConn bench is yelling about. Adaiwusu's on the floor, and they think that he tripped Whaley. The only thing I can say there is maybe Whaley didn't have full possession of that ball. That's why the officials didn't call it. But we've seen that called before. That's a big no call in front of the home team's bench too. And I tell you what, plays like that when this building is full, it's a harder call to at least not make, because the fans will let you know.
90 seconds. 2-point lead. Champagny off the screen and lays it in. Coach Hurley's going to call a timeout. The Red Storm with their biggest lead of the game. It's 4. Thanks to Julian Champagny.
Drive this smooth, you save with Allstate. The future of auto insurance is here. You've never been in better hands. Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
4-point lead for the Red Storm here at Gamble Pavilion in Stores as we take a look at our reset. Red Storm, 2 timeouts. Huskies with just 1. Possession arrow pointed towards UConn. Both teams will be going to the line with a foul.
Well, the luxury of having so many ball handlers on the floor for St. John's is they are willing and able to make those passes on the other end of the floor. Defensively, right here is where they have to show some discipline.
1 minute. Adams. Martin open for three. Yes! 1 point lead for the Red Storm.
That's what you got to love about him. Steps up, hits a big one.
Done. Got tied up. Jump ball. Possession arrow. UConn.
This is real good offense. There's going to be a lot of room, as you see. Martin over there in the corner, and that's a tie-up. You called it. UConn's ball.
Eight-second differential between the play clock, shot clock, and Coach Hurley wants to design a play. Down 1, 30 seconds to play.
Get your taxes done with or without the office visit. Drop in, drop off. Send us a pic of your docs, and a tax pro will do the work. Or file online and get help if you need it. No matter how you choose to file, Block has your back.
Have you or a loved one been wronged by pre-made breakfast?
Well, Wendy's has your back, dropping the hammer with 2 of these made-to-order breakfast sandwiches for just $4. Get the breakfast you deserve now, 2 for $4. Only at Wendy's.
Just 32 seconds left in the game. UConn down 1. They have the possession of the basketball. As we look at our game reset, it's the Red Storm with 2 timeouts. UConn have used their final timeout. Now the possession arrow pointed towards the Red Storm. Your Coach Hurley, who am I drawing up a play for?
You know, because as we've illustrated all game long, no James Bouknight, and we've seen different guys score in different spurts of this game, I think you have to rely on whatever that offensive set is. And if it's a motion offense, if it's a draw and find a guy, they've done a terrific job of getting late in the clock, UConn, and finding those open corners. And for St. John's, if you're going to switch everything, you have to switch up into the man, meaning when I turn the corner, we're going to switch. You have to be standing there, not lagging back if we switch. Communication so important for St. John's on this possession.
First meeting between these programs in 8 years. Last time UConn has gotten a victory over the Red Storm, 2011. Last St. John's victory over UConn came at the Garden. Martin, the drive. To Polly, back to Martin. Champagne said he goes straight up, but they call the foul.
All about the hands. Where are the hands? Yeah. I think I agree with Champagne on that one, too. It was straight up. We're both going straight up. It was body to body. But it's a smart play by Tyrese Martin. Go to the rim. Put the pressure on the refs. Make them blow that whistle.
Misses. 60% free throw shooter.
Look, we've talked about it. Best offensive rebounding team in the Big East is UConn. Got to box out if you're St. John's.
And he missed the second. Now you got a foul.
Well, if you recall, I know UConn fans will, against Creighton, they lost in overtime because they missed a couple of free throws in regulation. Their only loss.
Let's take a look at what the Red Storm has coming up. We had DePaul, UConn squad again at the end of the month. And then Villanova, Providence, and Butler. Rasheem Dunn knocks down that first one, 2-point lead.
And they shoot 72% from the line, St. John's, as a team. Well, you could put anybody there if you're Mike Anderson and feel comfortable.
1 of 2. 10 seconds left. Cole, Polly, 3, the lead. No, missed everything.
And probably didn't need it that soon. It's a hard spot to be in as a player. Lower left, shot clock's at 9. You didn't need it because, you know, if you make it, there's still time for St. John's to come down and try to win it. It's just a tough position to be in for any player.
Fourth personal foul. Number 9, Julian Champagne shooting 2.
Champagne knocks down that first one as we look at what the Huskies have. That Xavier game has been postponed because of COVID issues in the Xavier program. And Champagne comes through with both. Red Storm up 4, 5 seconds to play.
Aunt Journey Rain tried Popeye's Rippin' Chicken Big Box, and this happened.
I love that chicken from Popeye's. Rippin' Chicken, easy to pull apart for a tasty bite.
Get Popeye's Rippin' Chicken Big Box with 2 sides of biscuit and sauce for $6.
Love that chicken from Popeye's.
For St. John's, 5 seconds left in this game. The Red Storm still have a timeout. Possession arrow pointing towards the Red Storm. And look, this is basically a game they led the last, 3 minutes, 4 minutes of this game.
They stole this game. If this ends up a St. John's win, they stole this game because, listen, they were down a lot of this game. They never gave up. I think that is the message that Mike Anderson can take into that locker room, and when they get on the bus for his team is, look, this is what happens when you don't quit. When you believe in each other, you have a chance to win games.
Red Storm have not won a true road game all season long. 5 seconds away from accomplishing their first. Here's Cole. They get it to Adams, blocked by Champagne. And the Red Storm are going to get this victory. Go to 3-6 in the conference, 8-7 overall, and get their first win here in Stores in 21 years. Our final, 74-70, St. John's over UConn. For Donnie Marshall, I'm Brian Custer. Mike Gill in Los Angeles right after this.